How does a delinquent tax sale work? In today's video, you're going to learn how does a delinquent tax sale work and how you can bid and win at those auctions. In this video, you're going to see actual properties that were bought. I'm going to show you one I bought for $4,000, another one I bought for $275, and other properties that people bought for $500,000 and resold for $1.2 million that later that same year. There's no doubt there are amazing bargains available at tax sale, but there's a lot you need to know before you go to bid and put up your hard-earned money. And also be sure to stay on to the end, because at the end, I'm going to show you an innovative new way and give you access to a resource so you can learn a new way to buy properties at tax sale auction for only the taxes due with absolutely no competition. So you're going to love that, so be sure to stay on to the end. So let's talk about a delinquent tax sale. Let's talk about how does it work, and more importantly, how can you make money in it and how can you participate? Well, the first step is to get your list of properties. So how do you do that? Really simple. Go to your friend Google. On Google, type in a search that's the name of the county, the state, and then just tax sale list. So for example, if I did a search DeKalb County, Georgia tax sale list, it would take me to the tax commissioner's site that looks like that. And then you can just click on the link to the current list and it will show you the current list of properties being offered for sale. In that particular county, they offer the sale monthly. Some places offer monthly sales, some annual sales. Really depends on the population size generally. Usually places that are bigger cities are more frequent. So anyway, you get your list and here's the actual list that you can see and has the property address, the name of the current owner, and more importantly for your reference, it shows the amount of taxes due. That's important because that's where the bidding is going to start. So as soon as that bidding gets to the taxes due, whoever the highest bidder is gets the property. Counties don't, bargain with you. Not like, well, this house is worth $400,000, so you can't buy it for, $20,000. If the taxes are $20,000, yes, you can. Great bargains can be there. I'll also tell you that when you get this list, all those properties are not going to be sold. So we get this list, typically they're very large, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of properties depending on the county. You get the list and you have to understand that most of the properties will never actually be sold at tax sale. And why is that? It's because most people take care of the taxes at the last minute. They can make a payment arrangement, they can find the money and bring it down to the county and pay the taxes, or they can file a bankruptcy. All of those things will cause the property to be removed from the tax sale. So your bidding strategy is very simple. You need to be prepared to bid on a lot of properties so that by the time the sale comes around, there will be some properties for you to get. Because just assume all of them are not going to be sold, most won't be, so you just need to look over a lot of properties before the sale. So how do you do that? We got to do that efficiently. So what we do is we start with Google Maps Street View. The way that it works, you put in the address of the property, and then in Google Maps, you have that little tiny person on the bottom right-hand screen. Put the person on the street, and then you can see the house. And take a look at the house, and then make sure you rotate around, because you can see the street. And Google Street View, just like you're seeing on your screen, you can see the whole street just rotating around. Take a look at that. And by the way, the property I'm putting up there is one of these properties from the sale. So that's something that's available. And then you decide, hey, is this a house I'm interested in? Is this a neighborhood I'm interested in? If it is, then you put a check mark and keep that one. Maybe you pull up another one and it's just a vacant, scrubby lot, or it's just in an industrial area that's run down that you don't want. Cross that off. Your idea at this point is just to take that big list of properties and screen it down to a smaller list of properties you'll actually be interested in if they're going to auction them off. And what you're going to do next is nothing. I know that's surprising, but it's like nothing. So what you're doing is you're waiting until the sale gets closer in time. The reason for that is that people are going to be paying off the taxes all the way up until the time of sale. Most people will have accomplished that within 3 or 4 days of the sale. Most of the people are going to pay off their taxes, will have paid them off. So what you do is you pull the list again 3 or 4 days before the sale. You look at whatever properties remain, because they will adjust the list, meaning as taxes are paid, they'll remove that property from the sale list. So you're going to see that I have a small subset of properties left, and you say, all right, which ones am I interested in out of my group? And say, all right, I've got these, say, 20 properties that I'm interested in. Then you do your next step. Your next step is a physical inspection of the properties. What you're going to do is get in your car and drive past the properties. When you go to the property, look at it from the street, see what you can figure out. Does it look like it had a fire? Do you see any smoke or staining from smoke coming under the eaves? Are the windows blown out? Does it look occupied or not? Is the roof line straight and level? If the roof line is like a big hip like bowing in it, that's a sign of a serious problem, and you got to take that into account. And you may be buying that just for land value, it would be fine, but if you see a place where the roof is bowed and the windows, instead of rectangular, are kind of twisted out of shape like racked, that's a sign of a foundation problem. And you probably don't want to get involved with that kind of a renovation. Remember, these houses have been neglected. If you didn't have money to pay the taxes, you don't have money to maintain it either. So you have to assume the worst when you're looking at the property. You want to know as much as you can. If you see a neighbor outside, ask them about it. Hey, does anybody live in that house? They'll probably know it's going up for tax sale. So you can say it's going up for tax sale. I'm looking at it. I fix up houses. People are very chatty, especially neighbors. They love to gossip about their neighbors. Also, go and knock on the door and see if anybody's home and talk to them. You may have a tenant that's in there. You may figure out that it's vacant because you can see in the side glass in the doors, oh, it's actually vacant inside. And whatever information you can gather. Like peek in the windows as best you can, meaning not walking all around the property and like lifting up and like a peeping Tom, but at least what you can do from walking in. You don't have a right to walk inside the property. That would be trespassing, so you don't have a right to do that, but learn what you can and be bold about it, because if you're going to pay your hard-earned money for this property, you want to know as much as you can. After that, you drive all the properties, then you have your list and you're prepared for the auction. And also, in your preparation for the auction, make sure you check with the county on what their terms of the auction are, meaning, do you have to register in advance for the auction? Do you have to put a deposit with them? How is payment made? When is payment made? A lot of times they want ACH the day of the sale. Other times you have to put down a small deposit to bid. Other times you may just be bringing a cashier's check. They will have those rules of sale right on the same website as the list. They're not trying to keep it a secret, but make sure you look for it, get them in advance, and make sure that you fill in any forms and qualify any way you need to bid at the sale. Some of the qualifications they look for are if you have a lot of outstanding real estate taxes yourself or a bunch of building code violations, sometimes they won't let you bid. So make sure you check that in advance, because I don't want you getting locked out of the sale. Then the day of the sale, you're either going to go online, many sales are held online, or you're going to go in person to the courthouse to go and bid. Very exciting, very fun. My advice there is just set your maximum bid and don't bid more than that. Auctions are exciting, but the reason you're doing this is to get a great deal on a property, not just to get a property. If you want to just get a property, go through a realtor. They can show you many more properties. You can see them on the inside, and they have less headaches. But a tax sale, you want to get a bargain. So be patient and don't get overly excited. Just stick to whatever your bid is and do that. And for just a rule of thumb, if you're in a fix and flip business, you usually want to buy those properties for 65 to 70% of retail minus your fix-up cost. If you're in a rental business, then make sure you're getting a good neighborhood where you can get good rents and good tenants. That's it in a nutshell. There's some things to look out for. I would never buy a commercial property at one of these tax sale auctions. Commercial properties can have environmental problems. You have no way of knowing that, and they could be horrendously expensive to fix. So I wouldn't buy anything that was a dry cleaner or a gas station or a factory, because chances are they do have environmental problems, and you don't want to be stuck with that bill, because if you become the owner, you do have to clean it up. It doesn't matter whether you made the pollution or not, you're still stuck with cleaning up. So don't buy anything commercial. Stick with residential properties. Just understand you have to look at a lot of properties to get a few, but there are great deals out there because the properties are sold free and clear. They're sold to anybody who will pay the taxes, whoever the highest bidder is. And so the bidding starts very low, so you can get some great deals there. And one other thing, throughout the country, the sales are free and clear, but I want to make sure I didn't miss this. In Pennsylvania, they hold a sale called the Upset Sale, which is held the third week in September all over the state of Pennsylvania. That sale is sold subject to liens and mortgages. It's the only one like it, so it's the only one needed to worry about that. But just be aware that that's out there. So that's your primer in this. And obviously there's some complexity here. You have to run around last minute looking at properties, and there are other bidders. Bidding does tend to be active, especially in bigger cities. People are going crazy bidding on properties. A friend of mine discovered and developed a way to buy properties where there's no competition, where you can go in anytime and buy properties year round, and where the properties are sold for the taxes due and they're sold free and clear. It's a really great way to buy properties. I think the best way to buy properties that are tax sale. He's getting amazing deals in these things. I sat down with him the other day and did an interview, and I couldn't believe what he showed me. He showed properties he bought for he showed one was about $2,500 he paid for the property, and it was rented for $800 a month. So the tenant started paying him the rent, paid for the whole thing in 3 months, and still owned the house. It's absolutely amazing. So he's He's got a really great system that works all over the country. Go watch my video on this. It's amazing. So I'll put a link up that's a link to my interview with my friend who is the world-class expert in this. He knows this stuff. You've really got to check this out because this is an improved way to do this where you get rid of a lot of the risk and you get rid of all of the competition and you can be buying properties free and clear for just the taxes that are due. It's really amazing. So next up, go watch that video. It's not long, it's about 26 minutes. I promise you'll be fascinated. It's amazing. And you're gonna learn things that are really great. And if you wanna learn how to do it from him, he offers training and education on it. So you'll get to learn about it. And if it interests you, go and do it. It's a really great thing to do. This is Attorney Bob Diamond. It's been great being here with you. Click on that link, go watch my video interview, and you will learn something entirely new and exciting.